folks, welcome back to our channel and to another card comparison video. So today we're going to be comparing two decks that are, for lack of a better word, I don't really think should be compared, but they do have two things in common. They are both tarot decks and they are both vintage style. And that is seemingly, I guess, maybe sort of a little bit where the comparison of these two decks ends, because one of them is a Rider-Waite-Smith deck and the other one is a Tarot de Marseille deck, which in my personal and professional opinion, I don't think there is any business that anybody has to compare these two decks, but I'm going to do it because they're both vintage style. They're from Tarot Dark Forest. You can find them on Etsy. And shout out to my lovely friend Dawsonay, who actually got me both of these decks for Christmas. So I am very excited to show these to you because, like I said, they both are done in a vintage style. So that is where I will say their comparison is between these two. So you can also kind of take a look at this video in terms of comparing Rider-Waite-Smith structure to the Marseille structure. So am I going to bother? I haven't decided. I probably will. I guess I'll do the minor arcana and I'll just flip through those as well. So bear with me in terms of comparing those guys. But the other thing, of course, we'll notice is justice and strength are switched between the two decks, but you'll see that in the flip through. So yeah, without any further ado, I guess, yeah, so these are the boxes that they come in, but I will quickly show. So there is this lovely tarot bag that I think you can choose if you want it to come either with a bag or a box. So it's like a velvet, really stretchy, like this is a really, really nice bag, beautifully made. And then the other thing that you can choose is actually a box. And the box is really, really nice. It slides out the bottom, which I really like because I have what is this, like a flip-top desk, and I can stick it in the shelf and just use it, you know, pull out my deck and leave it kind of stacked with other decks on top of it. You don't have to unstack the stack, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think you have the option to just buy the deck or a bag or a box. I happen to have all of the possible options. The bag is really, really well made, and I do recommend if you're a bag person, it's really, really nice bag. And this box also, it's wood, it's very sturdy. I guess I'll just show that. Maybe I can show it a little bit better when I have the cards all together, but it fits really perfectly, like absolutely snug. Snug as a bug, I was gonna say, right in there like that. So, okay, without any further ado, let's take a look at the cards. They are lovely and I'm very excited to share them with you. So I'm gonna flip the camera and I'll be right back. All right, so here we have both the decks. The cardstock is exactly the same. It is Divine cardstock. I don't know if you can tell. It has a little bit of a texture to it, but it's definitely, like, I know it kind of looks shiny, but it's not a glossy finish really by any means. These are the backs of each of these guys. They are, oh, this cardstock is so nice. I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end of the video, but just I guess for a size comparison, so this is the Smith-Waite Centennial deck, and you can see it's just, the cards are just a hair smaller than that guy. And then what do I have on my table here? So this is the Jean Dodal deck, which is a pretty massive deck actually. Like you can see it's quite a bit bigger than that. And what else do I have here? This is the Jean Noblet deck by Jean-Claude Flournoy. And yeah, so that's a smaller deck, but there's just a couple of size comparisons for you. So yeah, without any further ado, let's take a look at the cards. And yeah, forgive me for going Rider-Waite versus Tarot de Marseille here, but bear with me. And I will just say, as you can kind of see here, the Tarot de Marseille deck does still have colors in it. So they use blue, red, and a little bit of yellow, whereas the Rider-Waite deck is strictly, I guess it's kind of like the dark brown and light brown tones you see here. So, all right, let's put on some music and I will show you the cards. So there we have the cards. These decks are really, really stunning. I am super happy with both of them. And as I mentioned kind of at the beginning there, the cardstock is, I don't know the best way to kind of show this, but it's really, like, they're very, very soft cards. Like, they really almost have a vintage sort of feel to them. It was a deck that as soon as I opened it, it kind of feels like, I don't know, if one were to have a sweater deck, you know, like that just feels really comfortable in your hands to shuffle it immediately. I hope that's, like, I don't know, as best as I can kind of show that. It's really, really soft, but at the same time, it's really snappy. So it does riffle shuffle really nicely. Both of them do. So they're exactly the same cardstock thickness and everything, if you choose to go for either of these. But they're really, really spectacular decks. I really like, too, the different, I don't know, it makes a difference to me, like, where there is different, I don't know, textured marking, different colored, I guess, I don't even know what to call it, sort of like the tea stains, where on some decks or some of the cards, like, they're not the same stain sort of on every card, which I thought was really beautiful. It's really, really nice. And to my understanding, I think these decks are made to order. So when you place your order, I do believe the creator then sends it to the printer. So it's really special, you know, that as soon as you place an order, the deck was actually created for you and for your order. And I know that on this, the Tarot Dark Forest Tarot's Etsy shop, they've got just a ton of different kinds of, especially the Rider-Waite deck. I'm pretty sure this is the only Marseille deck they have, or at least it is at the time I'm filming this video. But they have, you know, the blood edition. It's all black and red. They've got different colors. Anyway, just about any Rider-Waite palette you could, or any color palette that you could think of putting on a Rider-Waite deck. So yeah, because I didn't place the order, I imagine that everything went very smoothly, but it's they're really, really quality decks. Oh, I guess I should show that as well. So it did come with the little white book, you know, just with a little bit of writing for each of the cards, a little description. I think this one has, yeah, it's got the Celtic Cross in there. I don't know which Celtic Cross. Anyway, I haven't exactly read it. You may know I'm not a little white book fanatic by any means, so yes. And yeah, what else did I want to say? Oh, I guess I could talk just a little bit about how this reads in comparison to a standard Rider-Waite deck, which I know is not the theme of this particular video, but it's a very, very different thing. I guess I should have grabbed my deck with borders, but nonetheless, it's very different to be working with a deck, at least for me, that has no colors, because I do read a lot with colors and sort of how the color translates from one card to the other and what sort of, you know, I get an extra layer of depth from my readings by looking at the color on the cards. So I was very interested to see what would happen taking them away. And I don't even know how to describe it, but really the feel I get from this deck, I've done a few readings with it now, and I use it a lot for, you know, various magical workings and things. But it has almost an ancient wisdom kind of voice to it. It's not that it's soft by any means, but it's been a long time since and I don't know if I actually ever have, just picked up a deck and felt immediately comfortable with it. And I'm not just talking about, you know, the fact I'm very comfortable working with Rider-Waite-Smith style decks, but it just, I don't know, a combination of probably the fact it was a really lovely gift. The cardstock is really soft. It just felt almost broke in, but not that it was anyone else's breaking in. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how the best way is to describe it, but I felt that I like really trusted this deck immediately, I should say, as soon as I opened it. And very similarly with this deck as well. I do like that they did conserve some of the color here as well with the different accents, so I can still work with that. So they are, you know, they're not a perfect side-by-side comparison in in many respects, with them being different types and everything, but they're both really, really beautiful decks. I highly recommend checking out their Etsy shop, because the cardstock is really fantastic. It's very, very soft. Yeah, I hope it kind of shows up on camera there. I'm trying to focus that. Yeah, if you can kind of see, like, it is a little bit textured, and it just feels super nice in the hands. They read really well. So if you are someone who's, we actually just did a podcast on that there last week, but if you're looking to kind of branch out, but maintain either your Tarot de Marseille or maintain the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but you're kind of wanting something a little bit different, but not, you know, a clone or a different sort of style, I really do recommend these. They do read quite differently. I really like working with this one by candlelight. it just, I don't know, it's just a very divine experience. Both of them are, actually, I could say, especially this one too, actually, by candlelight, because you're not worried so much about the color. You're just looking strictly at the image. But yeah, they read like a dream, they shuffle like a dream. I have nothing but amazing things to say about both of these decks. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any decks from this shop, or you know, how you feel about a non-colored deck, and or this one here with a little bit of color. Actually, no, okay. I was wondering, I wanted to make sure that these are the same. Yeah, it is the same cardstock. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts and your feedback, and let us know, or let me know if there's any decks you want me to do a comparison with. I just might have them, or I just might pick them up. But anyways, with that, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And yes, we will see you next time.